Goddamn mower cut off 20 minutes ago. I look back, ain't cut shit. Motherfucker, I couldn't hear a goddamn thing fucking with this little electric shit. Out here goddamn mowing grass with my headphones on. Got the goddamn music on. I ain't know the goddamn mower cut off 20 minutes ago. I look back, ain't cut shit. Motherfucker, I couldn't hear a goddamn thing fucking with this little electric shit. Out here goddamn.
Hey man, I can relate to that so motherfucking hard, man. I bought an electric mower 3 years ago, thinking like, yo, man, this gonna keep me from having to go to the gas station. I ain't gotta get this boy tuned up every season. Just charge the battery up and I'm good, right? Wrong. Because as soon as you go, if you let the grass like get too tall, that shit'll cut off on you. Real talk. Like, and on top of that, they only get one battery. It takes hours for that battery to charge. So if you cut that bitch, you think you're going to finish your whole front and backyard with that one damn charge on that battery? It ain't happening, man. Might as well go ahead and get you the damn gas power lawnmower, man. Real talk. But I am joined here by two of my favorite people in the whole world. Two of my favorite podcasts in the whole world. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all know who the fuck these people are, man. They're pretty big in this podcasting game. I'm here. I'm joined by Rod and Karen of the Black Guy Who Tips. Say what's up to the people, fam.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, thank you for having us, man. Appreciate you bringing us back, Mr. Spann.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's been a minute. I think the last time you guys were here, it was episode 200. It was a 200 episode of the show. So man, I did 137 shows without y'all, man. I can't believe it. I let that happen, man. My bad.
It's all good, man. I see you always busy, man. So every time I look up, you working.
He working. He looking all slim. I see you done lost some weight.
Right. You see that?
Yeah, trying to get all fit on us and shit.
Actually, I wasn't trying. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, and my wife ain't happy about it. She liked me a little bit. You know, she liked the help that came. She's like, man, I got to get back on my game. You know, because, you know, with the salmon and the chicken and the ribs and like it's a whole thing, man. So I haven't actually really been trying to lose the weight. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe it's because I'm busy at the job or something. I don't know. But I don't know, man. I feel a little bit better outside of the tendonitis in the elbow. I feel a little bit better. I feel
like in the pandemic, everybody been going up in weight. So, you know, like to balance the scale, somebody had to be going down. So I'm gonna look at the weight I gained and be like, that's Mr. Spann. You know, that's just the universe balancing us out.
Indeed, man. But not only that though. So in the wintertime, I was packing it on. I had got up to at my heaviest, I was like 213. And then I got on the scale a couple days ago and that shit said 188 pounds. And I was like, how?
Come on through 188.
Like, just how though? I didn't really understand how it was happening, but you know, you just kind of take it as it is, man. Like I said, I feel a little bit better. My doctor's gonna feel a lot better because he told me, like, man, everything you've been coming to me, you done put on 10 pounds for the last 4 years.
Yes, the average person puts on 10 pounds every year. Yes.
So he's like, yeah, man, you need to cut back. You need to like step away from the ribs. Step away from those smothered pork chops, man, and just bring it. Get you some salads in your life, man. Get you some salads, grease them pipes, man. Get rid of that excess waste that you got going on. But yo, man. So like I said, Black Guy Who Tips. My favorite podcast, man. Y'all are how many episodes? Like 3,709 or some shit like that. So crazy.
I'm not sure. I lose count.
I mean, I can tell you the exact number. Just give me a second, but. Yeah, I think we're like 3,300 and something. I don't think we made it 3,700 yet.
I'll be there like by June.
So actually we're at 2,300, 2,335. That's what we're at. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Man. Yes, indeed. And also, you can find the Black Guy Who Tips exclusively on Spotify, right?
Yep.
And real talk, the only reason why I even got Spotify still on my phone is to listen to y'all. That's just
thank you, baby.
I mean, it's always nice to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, that's probably why they signed us
right
for the people that was like, man, fuck Spotify, and it was like, I guess for Rod and Karen, I'll do it. So to me, that just means we doing our job, you know?
Right? We keeping you there.
Because like real talk, I had signed up for the Spotify. I got a Spotify family account. And the only reason I got it was because they had like free Google Homes and shit. And, you know, I'm into the whole smart home stuff. So I was like, yo, man, I can get a free Google Home. I mean, I could use the Spotify for a minute. And I was getting ready to get rid of it. And it was like, yo, we exclusive on Spotify. Like, oh, gotta keep the shit then.
Yeah, they definitely I used to listen more to my stuff on Tidal. And then because I had the hi-fi and all that stuff. But then I always had Spotify anyway for the show.
Me too.
It was just easier to access certain things. And so they have been upgrading it, not just for the podcast, but just in general. Like they got the apps on my Samsung TV and stuff where I was just playing some songs on a playlist the other day, and it's like breaking down like the lyrics, interviews with the artists. There's like these videos that kind of play back and forth to let you know who the artist is. Like they really stepped it up in the past few years. Like they trying to, I guess, come for global domination or whatever.
I mean, they especially in the podcasting space, because that's one of the things about a lot of these different apps, man. Like a lot of them offer podcasting, or they offer, you know, the ability to play podcasts, and that's pretty much it. They don't really give you a whole lot of choice in, okay, do you want to speed this podcast up? Do you want to rate these podcasts? Like that's the one thing, like outside of Apple, nobody really gives you an opportunity to like really rate the shows that you listen to. And like Spotify, if they go ahead and do that, I might just go ahead and like put because I'm using Castbox now. I use Castbox primarily, but I'm using like if they go ahead and do that, I might just go ahead and just, you know, fully switch it over to like just Spotify to listen to my podcast, man.
Yeah, I think that it's very smart, in my opinion, what they're doing, because it's very frustrating if you are a podcast listener and a music listener. It's like for some reasons the businesses are like, they're separate, they're not the same. And you be like, well, God, every time I have to use separate apps, like it makes no sense. And when you tell somebody about a podcast, they always ask you, is it on a music app anyway? And so with it being combined is actually smart. And so now I think that they go, okay, we got the podcast over here. And with them bringing so many podcasters over, I guarantee you everybody giving their opinions about the various different other apps to be like, hey, y'all ain't got this, y'all ain't got that. You know, you need to be better than this. And so I think it's forcing them actually to upgrade, because if you're going to step in the water and swim, you're going to have to swim.
Yeah. Yeah. And on top of that, like damn it, I done lost my train of thought. But the whole thing about being on separate apps, right? Like I don't think a lot of these companies really understand. Like Google the same way. Like they got the YouTube music shit going on, which I actually use them to like listen to a lot of my songs. But like they got a separate podcast app, and if they would just bundle all this shit together, you can just make it easier for the folks. Help us help y'all. You
right.
know?
And the same thing with Apple. Apple is separate too. We got a music app and a podcast app. It's like, y'all do know y'all can merge all this into one thing. It would actually make it simpler for the consumer, that regardless of what I'm looking for, it's like they're not consumer friendly, because they just produce. And so the people that are making decisions, it's like they don't ask the people consuming it what would work best for you.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like a lot of these apps really need to get on. Especially like I said, I think the biggest thing right now is the ability to rate and review the podcast. Really, the only place you can really do that is Apple, Spotify. Not Spotify, Stitcher. But I can't tell you the last time I actually got anybody to rate or review a show on Stitcher.
It ain't easy. It's hard. Like you literally have to go to the page itself. And then if you like leave reviews or anything, they actually don't go to your review page. They, particularly for iPhone, I don't know about other phones, but they actually stay on the post itself. So you can go to the episode and see, but you won't see it on your main page.
Yeah, they make it hard, and it really shouldn't be. But yo, we got some stuff to talk about. We got a bunch of news. We got some blazes and shit. We got some Proud to be American shit to get into. So I'm gonna get right into the whole joint. So let's get into our news, y'all. All right, our first story here in the news has to do with the fact that the CDC has decided that mask mandates for fully vaccinated folks are no longer really mandated, y'all. Yeah, we get the story here. This comes out of NBCnews.com. It says the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to announce that people who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 no longer need to wear masks or physically distance indoors or outdoors in most circumstances, according to two sources familiar with the recommendations. The new recommendation comes more than a year after the CDC first recommended that Americans should wear masks to protect against spreading or catching the coronavirus. At that time, the U.S. was logging more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths per day. A person is considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after the last dose of COVID-19 vaccine. That gives the immune system enough time to develop antibodies against the virus. According to CDC data, more than 35% of the population has been fully vaccinated. There are a few caveats, however. People who have compromised immune systems, for example, should talk to their doctors about continuing with mitigation measures. And even fully vaccinated people may still be asked to wear masks in certain locations, such as in hospitals or other healthcare settings. Now, I listen to you guys, man, and a lot of you guys are really good about spreading, legitimate coronavirus news. How do you guys feel about this new milestone that the country is in as far as vaccinated folks no longer being mandated to wear masks in public settings?
Well, I know how I feel. I'm not changing a motherfucking thing. Coronavirus is still out there, and I know I'm vaccinated. Fuck that bullshit. And like Roger says about feeling, well, I don't feel like the populace is smart enough. So, no, I will continue to wear my mask.
I feel that, Karen. I feel all that passion. Personally, I can't wait to get rid of the damn mask. Only because, where I'm at, when I'm at work and stuff, I can't, if I go into a basement and I'm breathing through my mouth, I can't see shit. Right. So I'm wearing safety glasses and stuff like that. I can't see what I'm doing. And so it becomes a thing do I pull this fucking mask off or do I take my glasses off? And the glasses are there to keep shit from getting in my eyes. It's I can't win for losing. But more often than not, I'm hey, man, I just hope these people stay the fuck upstairs while I got this mask down so I can do my job. But outside of that, I don't really when I'm by myself or I'm outside or something like that, the mask tends to kind of slip down, man. Especially since after I got vaccinated. Once I got fully vaccinated, a lot of the mask wearing, I kind of I'll pull it down when I'm by myself. And then when I get around some folks, I'll pull it up just out of courtesy. But I can't wait really to kind of get rid of this whole mask thing. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I just basically go by the guidelines. So I trust the CDC. I think the only time that I felt that the CDC wasn't truly trustworthy was under Trump, and the science of it, we've been following on the show every day for over a year now. And, I would feel like a hypocrite to be yeah, I don't give a fuck what they say. I do give a fuck what they say. That's what I've been telling people for a year is to give a fuck what these people have been saying. Right. So now that they start saying some good news, that's when I'm gonna flip 100 degrees, because at that point, it's never been about the science. It's always just been about how I felt. Right. And a lot of people feel comfortable in the mask, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
I would encourage people not to just go by vibes and feelings when it comes to science, because that's the exact argument that people have who are anti-mask and anti-coronavirus denial. I think that's very short-sighted. There's scientific reasons to continue to wear your mask.
Yeah.
So your mask doesn't necessarily protect you as much as it protects other people.
Right.
Which is something that, if you're vaccinated, you can still protect other people by wearing a mask, which is one of the reasons that I continue to do it. The other thing is it's not just coronavirus. I haven't had the flu. I haven't had a cold. That's crazy. A whole year. If you would have told me this shit was possible beforehand, I would have wore a mask when it wasn't in the end thing, just because I'm this is a nice feeling of just you go out to a place, you do something, and you don't have to worry about getting sick all the fucking time. Yeah. So those are the positive reasons for me to, and I think it's very good news. And I think everyone is concentrating on the negative psychology of it, of people that don't want to wear masks, they'll lie and just not wear masks. Well, they were already doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if people understand. None of this has ever been legally enforced. The few times they tried to legally enforce some type of mask thing, it broke down within the justice system, and those people became heroes and were lauded for not wearing masks. So it's always been, if you feel like it, for a lot of people. Private businesses continue to have their rules regardless of the CDC. So some private businesses are going to still make you wear a mask,
right?
Because they're looking at it from a business standpoint of, do we want to have a higher risk for our employees who may or may not be vaccinated, especially when you talk about these frontline jobs where many of them don't have great health insurance.
Right.
So a lot of these places are like, listen, you still got to wear a mask up in here, so it don't really matter what the fuck the CDC says. So I think I think a lot of people are just getting very up in arms, and they're skipping over the other part of this, which is there's some people who are on the fence. I know some personally who are on the fence about being vaccinated, who are like, why would I do it when there's nothing going to change? Mm-hmm. So I get vaccinated. I still got to do the same shit I'm doing. I'm going to stay home, wear a mask, not go out. Well, fuck it. Then I'm not getting vaccinated. Because why would I do that shit to do something I'm already doing? And now it's like, well, here's some things that you can do with a peace of mind and not feeling like you're endangering yourself and others. Well, now people are probably going to, some people, not everyone, but some people are going to go, all right, I'll go ahead and get vaccinated.
Yeah, and the other part about that, and I'm glad you mentioned the business aspect of it, because like, say for instance, I talked with my supervisor Friday about the whole mask thing. I'm like, yo, so what are we doing as far as like, vaccinated folks and mask wearing? And so she's like, well, we're just not there where, we're going to tell y'all can't wear the mask. You still need to wear the mask and this, that. All right, I get it. I'm just saying, like, for the purposes of when you out here and you see me and my mask is down my like chin because I'm out here outside by myself, am I in trouble? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to cover my ass. Like, she's like, no, you good. But just for the purposes of when you go into someone's house, you should make sure that you got a mask in, or you should have a mask on, just to keep those customers at ease, because a lot of customers aren't comfortable with strangers coming into their homes. I had a lady last week who actually was talking about refusing me entry because she's like, man, it looked to me like y'all going to everybody's house, and I don't know what them people is in there doing. And if you go to their house, then you come into my house, you might be carrying what the hell you got in the house. And I'm like, listen, I get it. I get it. I just don't want you to be out gas, ma'am. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like, I'm just trying to do my job.
Like, we had to have a couple things in the house that over the last few months where, like, we had a emergency with the plumbing. We had some other stuff that happened, and we had to have people in here. You know what I mean? Like, they had to come in and do what they had to do. They wore the mask for the most part when they came in. We was cool with it. We wore our mask, and it was, to me, it was like a minor inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? But to know that, once people are vaccinated, you don't have to do that. Yeah. Cool. Like, it's, hopefully, because I think the other thing is a lot of this shit is very much about like people's personal trauma that they've been dealing with this year, and all the people that have died and all this shit. And so people are like freaking out. It's like a control thing. And I don't freak out. Like, when I see a motherfucker without a mask, I don't look at them like a wasp or like, oh God. Like, I'm just like, okay, well then I just will stay a little further away from them. They going about their business. I don't know their life. Hopefully they good. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just going to assume the best, but we are so used to assuming the worst of every fucking body where it's like, he ain't got a mask. This nigga must be a COVID denier, super spreader, such and such. And I'm like, it's just not about that for me.
And I understand that, but also it's not like that's coming from not a valid place. Because when Trump was in office and people were arguing online, like, a lot of people really got deep into those holes where they argued with people online all day. Like, I didn't get into those circles, but a lot of people did. And so for a lot of people, they look at, well, if you ain't got no mask, I assume you say fuck the coronavirus, because that's kind of how it was presented to the public, or how people were treating it online. And I think I do agree with you that you do need to trust science. You do need to believe science. And so I understand your perspective, but also I see where they're coming from, going, well, how do I know? And I don't trust you. There's nothing you can do. Like you said, it's a feeling. There's nothing you can do to tell that person that you're not a COVID denier other than them having a conversation with you.
The thing is, though, a lot of times that panic comes from not a valid place. I agree. Like I said, all of us live. We all exist in this earth. You walk around somebody, you see them without a mask on their chin, mask not on their nose. There's a difference between, okay, I'm gonna just go around this person and just
I avoid them.
Right. And hey guy, hey buddy,
Ooh.
put on your fucking mask. Like there's a big ass difference to me, and I don't do the latter because I'm not panicking.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. We exist on this earth with all these people that are variables. Why the fuck do I need to? I don't know. They could literally have forgot their mask in the car and just, oh shit, my bad, thank you, man. Or they could be like, listen, Donald Trump said my freedom of speech. Either way, I don't really give a fuck, and it don't have nothing to do with me.
Agreed.
So that's the thing. And if you want to wear your mask, whether it's for feelings or science, fine. It's not like you have to shout that to the rooftops. You know, if they say, hey guys, you don't have to wear your mask. Now, when I go out in public, it's not like I'm going up to everybody. So I'm wearing my mask because the way that I feel, like, it don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter.
And a lot of this is just simply because of how, you were talking about how the CDC was kind of politicized under Trump. Like, a lot of that has to do with the fact that how much they politicized the science from the jump when Trump was president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we first started seeing things like as far as wearing masks and stuff like that, and Donald Trump, well, for me, I'm not going to wear a mask. And then you got all of his followers saying, well, I'm not going to wear a mask because Donald Trump says, you know, it's just the flu and all this other shit. And it just becomes, you know, you start looking at people out in the public like, well, he got to be a Donald Trump supporter then if he's not out here wearing a mask. And it just becomes it becomes one of those things. And now you got folks who are just like, well, on the flip side of it, I just saw a story on what was it? I think it was on CNN or some shit like that, where Congressman Swalwell got into a little beef with a staffer from Marjorie Taylor Greene. So like Marjorie Taylor Greene's staffer was admonishing Congressman Swalwell because he was still wearing a mask. And so now that the CDC is saying that you don't have to wear a mask if you've been vaccinated, they're like, yo, well, you should take your mask off now. And then, so now it's becoming this, like, it's like the politicization of the science is you can't really escape it because of how they a lot of this shit, man. Which
is why I said I don't think it's smart to start saying, well, it's just about a feeling. No, because it's about the science of it. There's still a scientific reason to wear a mask.
Right.
Because if it's your feelings, people can be like, well, you've been saying my feelings weren't valid the whole fucking pandemic. When I said I didn't feel like wearing a mask, you told me, what about science? Right? That's what everybody said. But the science is you should wear a mask. I don't feel like, I feel like it's something else. Okay, cool. Now the science is you don't have to wear a mask. Well, you still wearing a mask. So your feelings? No, nigga, it's not my feelings. I'm trying to keep you from dying, bitch, because I am vaccinated, and it does matter to me that your life does matter to me if it doesn't matter to you. It still matters to me, you know, that my niece hasn't been vaccinated yet. You know, my nephews haven't been vaccinated yet. Like, this shit is still out here. Is there? I think the mental psychological part of it that the CDC is going for right now is to convince people who are on the fence to get the vaccine. Right. And it seems that the thing that most people want the most is to go back to some form of normalcy. And that can only happen through the vaccination. So that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you hit it right on, nail on the head right there, man. Real talk. But we're gonna move on a little bit. So have y'all? Yeah, I'm sure you guys haven't taken any flights as of late, but apparently motherfuckers is acting an ass on these airlines, man, because the FAA is actually seeking fines against unruly fucking passengers, as there have been more and more like incidents of misbehaving for airline passengers. So we're gonna get the story. This comes out of clickondetroit.com. Do I have a video to this? I do not have video for this, but we're gonna read this article. It says federal officials said Monday that they are pursuing civil penalties against 2 more passengers for interfering with airline crews, the latest in a surge of such cases in recent months. The Federal Aviation Administration said it's continuing to take a zero-tolerance stance against unruly passengers. The most recent cases involve a passenger who refused to wear a face mask, which is required by federal regulation, and another who cursed flight attendants and the captain after boarding the plane. Now, what the fuck you mad at them for? Like, Jesus. Right. So the Federal Aviation Administration says it has received 1,300 complaints from airlines about disrupting passengers this year and has announced proposed civil penalties, some topping $30,000 against more than a dozen passengers in recent weeks. The passengers can protest the penalties. The agency said Monday it will seek a $10,500 fine against a passenger on a JetBlue Airways flight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, because of course it was Florida, to Los Angeles in December. The FAA said the man repeatedly ignored orders to wear a mask, then coughed and blew his nose into a blanket.
Oh.
Yeah. So the FAA proposed a $9,000 fine against a passenger who boarded a JetBlue flight from Los Angeles to Newark, New Jersey in March. The man slammed overhead bins and shouted profanities at flight attendants and the captain before law enforcement escorted him out of the terminal. The new cases came just 3 days after the FAA announced potential fines against 4 other passengers. None of the individuals have been identified.
They all white. I'm assuming that. Guess the race, white.
Yeah, I would assume so too. They didn't have any pictures or any of these people in the article, but I'm just trying to figure out okay, so I used to work at Airlines, right? I'm trying to figure out what would prompt a passenger on a flight to be that upset with the flight attendants and the pilot for essentially just telling you to follow the fucking rules, man. I don't understand it. I don't follow the logic. I'm trying to wrap my head around why people are so angry about following the rules, especially considering like, yo, man, you're going to be 30,000 feet up in the air. You should probably be listening to these folks.
Just the audacity. That's it. They went on there saying, y'all can't nobody tell. It's like for some of them, they actually went on the flight with the purpose of an altercation. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I said that is because we tell you this and you continue to escalate. Oh, so your whole purpose was to have this altercation because at any time you could have complied and everybody could have just moved on, but you was just determined to be combative. So yes, find them.
The thing that's weird to me is you left the house knowing that this was a possibility. Cause like, to me, that doesn't sound like you weren't crazy when you bought the ticket. It sounds like you bought the ticket and was like, I'm going to go crazy on this plane if they tell me anything about these rules, which is, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just happy to have never been on a flight with somebody like this exactly. You know, like I've been on a flight where someone freaked out because the flight was going to be delayed, but I've never been on a place where the person caused the delay because they couldn't help themselves. I hate that.
These are the motherfuckers who are like Rick James on Eddie Murphy's couch, nigga. Just like,
yeah.
Fuck your plane.
They came out there to the airport like, nigga, fuck your rules, nigga, fuck your rules. Like they don't give a
like,
damn.
What was the purpose of buying a ticket? Like, it's nothing that happens at the airport that's unanticipated. Is my point. Like, it's not like you get the ticket and then you show up and you be like, we gotta wear a mask. What?
This is new to me.
I wasn't aware of this at all. Like, so why are you freaking the fuck out?
These are the motherfuckers who show up at the airport and are surprised that a Whopper costs you $13. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
You at the airport, of course.
Like, just wait till you land to get a Whopper.
Yeah, man. Just wait till you leave. But yo, man, that's in the news. Another story that we got here in the news, man. This actually really isn't news. This is kind of some messy shit. But Joe Budden ends his podcast after firing his co-host Rory and Mal mid motherfucking show.
Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea.
Yeah, so we read this story here. This comes out of yahoo.com. It says, after 6 years of recording, the Joe Budden podcast has come to a dramatic end. Host Budden fired his co-hosts Rory Farrell and Jamil Mal Clay while recording a podcast episode that was posted and then quickly deleted on May 12th. Budden later reposted the episode on Patreon, asking fans to subscribe to see the video footage of the podcast recording. Budden, a retired rapper and former love and hip-hop star, is alone in the studio for the duration of the video. That's because his co-hosts Farrell and Clay, the podcast used to be called the Joe Budden Podcast with Rory and Mal, have been mostly absent from recording since March when they took a hiatus to try to sort out the differences with Budden. It seemed like the three were on the road to good terms in late April when they recorded their first episode after the break, but now the trio seems to be broken up for good. Budden fired Farrell during an expletive-laden rant he recorded solo, claiming that Farrell breached his contract. It is not clear exactly how that contract was breached, but fans are assuming the breakup is because Budden co-host asked for more money. Rory feels like he has so many options here. Somehow he still feels like he's running the show, and he still feels like he has choices and options. He feels like he's entitled to more, Budden said. Rory, you are in breach of your contract, and from this point forward, you are fired, and you are not welcome back. Budden also called Farrell a liability and said he encouraged Farrell and Clay to take their talents elsewhere to start their own show, man. Now, we all podcasters here. And one of the things I admired about you guys is like, yo, you have a network of shows, but you got a network of shows of people that like you really fuck with. Like, and the thing about this podcasting thing is that, everybody kind of wants to get into podcasting, don't necessarily understand the work that goes into getting into podcasting. And I kind of want this to kind of like, this kind of serves as a lesson that, just jumping into the whole podcasting thing might not necessarily be the thing that you want to do, especially considering if you think you're getting into it for the money. Now I know Joe Budden gets in, he's got like complex deals. I think he was exclusively on Spotify for a minute. But like the whole idea of the success of a show and the personalities that go into the success of a show, egos play a big part in a lot of the shit that goes on with some of these big time podcasts. But a lot of folks see these shows. These are the shows that a lot of folks tune into. Joe Budden Podcast, Brilliant Idiots Podcast, a lot of these big time shows. And this is what inspires a lot of folks to get into podcasting. So advice for those who have especially for you two guys who've had some level of success in the podcasting game, despite not having this, the previous celebrity status of someone like a Joe Budden, like success. What would you guys tell somebody who's like trying to get into the podcasting shit to avoid some of this messy shit that's going on with Joe Budden and like his crew over there?
Man, I don't know. I mean, they doing it at a much bigger level than us. Like as far as the numbers and the money and shit,
and their personalities too. That's why people listen.
So I don't know for sure because I feel like people tune in for the train wreck to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we are even in the same game. We're not trying to give people I would never talk shit about Karen for an audience. I don't think that's funny. I wouldn't have a guest on that I truly genuinely did not like. Yeah. We've had guests that like the relationship changed or soured over time, but we've never had, and even then we haven't even really played that up. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, fuck this nigga. Let me tell you why he ain't shit. And I've had the opposite happen too, where people have tried to start something and I've been like, it's just not the show I want to do. You know what I mean? So to me, I think, I don't know that I could truly advise him because I could never get as big as him. Because part of the reason he got big is that he does shit that I wouldn't do. You know what I mean? Like to me, I would feel like a fucking fool if I sat up there and talked all this shit about other people's contracts and like burned bridges with all this industry shit, blamed everybody else for my problems, and then when the shoe was on the other foot, I just sold my friends out in front of everybody and made it out like we was never really that cool. And I would feel, that's my own personal makeup. I would feel horrified if my behavior was like that. I would not be able to just live with that later on and act like it was all good. So I don't even think I could possibly advise him. If you're a new podcaster, I imagine you just wouldn't have these problems unless you are a celebrity or you already bringing this type of mentality with you.
Agreed.
So you probably don't need to hear no advice from me. And if you are of the mentality of that, it's not like you would listen to my advice. You know what I mean? If you the kind of nigga that would do all the shit he's done, it's not like, well, I heard Rod on the Blackout Tip, so let me change up my way. Like he would probably say, fuck me. So it's whatever.
Yeah, and for me, people listen for the personalities. They get contracts because of the personalities. Like the train wreck is why most people are there. The messiness is why most people are there. They're there for that reason, and that's why they get the ratings and all that stuff. So it's like they have a formula that works for them, but it doesn't work for everybody else. I'm like Roderick. I would not desire a show like that, and that's why we don't actually cater or court or go out and try to reach that audience, because we already know that audience is not for us.
Yeah, we don't even have people like that on the show. And like, we're not a huge show, but we big enough to probably have reached out to some of these people and been like, well, look at their podcast numbers. We need to get this person. I mean, I know for a fact, Charlemagne's people reached out to us a few times to have him on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just been a matter of like understanding our brand. This is not even my personal evaluation of Charlemagne, but just as a business, understanding our brand and their brand is not the mix that we want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to bring your kind of fans over here because it's going to be a headache for me dealing with these niggas now. So it's not even a good, I'm not even getting anything out of the deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, and possibly for, if there's any benefit to him wanting to be on our show, it might be that that some people will go, well, he can't be that bad. Rod and Karen like him. And it's like now I'm caught up in the bullshit that way.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make a funny show.
Yeah, and then the fans are like, well, shit, man, if Rod and Karen fucking with them, they all right. And then they get over it, and it ain't all right. They like, man, what the fuck y'all put me up on, man?
Right. Because my mentality is, I'm not a control freak person. My mentality is never one of, if I have someone on my show, it's because we agree on everything or I'm vouching for them. I personally listen to a lot of shit where I'm like, these niggas talking crazy. And I just move on. Like I don't reach out to them. I don't want to change their minds. I'm just like, niggas be talking crazy sometimes, but not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? I can listen to a stand-up comedian and think some of the shit they're saying is abhorrent, think it's hilarious, and then go, yeah, ain't got nothing to do with me. I would not let this person be in charge of
Corey
shit.
Holcomb comes to mind, man. Like
Corey Holcomb's a great example. Wouldn't let him be in charge of nothing.
Oh my
Hilarious.
God. Hilarious. I've been to a couple shows, side hurting like a motherfucker. I'm like,
Yes.
but that shit was terrible, bro.
Patrice O'Neal, one of the funniest niggas of all time. Can't let him be in charge of nothing. You know what I mean? Just hey, you said you had a good hour-long set. Appreciate you, brother. You made me cry. I was laughing so hard, and no, you can't be on my show. You know? It seemed pretty simple to me, and I think the weird part is if somebody like that gets offended by me not fucking with them, then it makes me start questioning, like, well, what do you do for, like, what is it that you really think you're doing? Because you got to understand that's not good for me. That's a one-sided deal. You come fuck with me and it becomes my problem. I'm okay with us not fucking with each other.
Right.
But anyway, I thought that whole story was crazy. I can't believe I would say I can't believe it, but honestly, he seemed like the scorpion crossing the river fable. You know what I mean? Like every time some shit happens, whether it's reality TV, personal relationships with the domestic violence shit, the Spotify deal, now his own show with his friends. It seemed like he's the common denominator. And then more importantly, like, I don't really believe the show's over. So like everybody was like,
it's too much money involved.
He said it's 1,000% done. We'll see. I mean, it's a lot more to that show now that you done signed on to Patreon and all these white folks. And I think
they gonna respect the product.
Yeah, I think maybe even he has like a spinoff show with some women. Like, it's a lot more people beholden to that dude than just him quitting the show. It's not like if Mr. Spann said, I don't want to do the show no more, and they would be like, well, damn, Mr. Spann don't feel like doing the show no more. It sucks, but you know, he don't want to do it's Mr. Spann don't want to do the show no more, and every subsidiary, every contract he signed, fuck them.
Yeah. I actually kind of forgot about that whole thing with the spinoff show. There's like three women. There's like the female version supposedly of the Joe Budden podcast. I forget exactly what those sisters' names were. The last time I remember talking about them, they were talking about like dudes playing video games. And it was very unflattering, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Very unflattering. So I get why they call them the Joe Buddens, like the women Joe Budden.
That's what's so funny when they celebrate diversity, and it's like, but you picked them. Like I know what kind of dudes you are. You're not gonna pick nobody that's gonna really be out there like, yo, you ain't shit, Joe Budden. Like, you gonna pick the female version of you. So, and
a couple of word love and hip hop alumni, man. So it comes with the messiness comes with the product. So that's what it is. But yo, man, we are out of the news. It's time for us to get into Blue Blazers, yo.
What in Blue Blazers is going on up here?
This nigga just say Blue Blazers.
All right, so this story here has a little local flavor to it. Has two Detroit area rappers that I had never heard of involved in this story. There's a lot of Detroit rappers I ain't never heard of that apparently like supposed to be big. This how I know I'm getting old, B, because I feel like I was who none of these people is. But so these two Detroit area rappers apparently in trouble with the IRS because they done scammed the fucking IRS to the tune of $5 million fucking dollars.
Ooh.
Your ass gonna call.
Yeah, man. How in the fuck? First of all, as someone who just did their taxes yesterday, how in the fuck do you scam the IRS out of $5 million?
You talking about jail? Uncle Sam don't play about his motherfucking money.
Man, listen. So let me look up because it's a thing. Let me pull this up. Let me close that down. Let's see. Let's stop that screen. All right, now let me pull this one up. All right, let's see what they talking about. These two young ladies who've been robbing the IRS blind for the better part of some years. All right, let's see what they talking about.
They posed as rap stars, raking in millions. The feds say all the money they really made came from filing dozens and dozens of fraudulent tax returns. The female rap duo called themselves Deuces Wild, and they're accused of netting $5 million from fake tax returns.
They say the money went to buy a fleet of luxury cars and a whole lot more. Let's get to Sean Lay. He's live tonight. And Sean, court documents claim this went on for years.
Years of living absolutely large, you're right, Karen, until the IRS finally caught on. But get this, you mentioned that the IRS already sent them $5 million allegedly in these alleged fake tax returns. $10 million more from the IRS was in the pipeline headed towards them until they caught on.
Good God.
Deuces Wild is their name. The feds say a major league IRS scam is their game. A Southfield rap duo. One woman named Samira Merrill, a.k.a. Samira Anderson, Samira Pickett, Creme, Lauren Boyd. Another woman named Noelle Brown, also known as Nikki Brown. The IRS says the two filed electronically by mail from Michigan and from Georgia. They made up companies called Lucid Communication Trust, which got a tax return of $57,000. Another company, For Weaves Only, which got a $31,000 tax return. An informant brought in on the scheme let investigators listen to a call where they say the two spelled it all out. The two allegedly stole people's identities and filed tax return and for fake businesses. If the informant wanted in, they'd be paid $15,000. It worked for a long time. Some refund checks were sent for more than $876,000, another for $299,000. Finally, the IRS caught on. Big part of the evidence the feds are presenting now in court is that IRS investigators, they say they watched Merrill deposit hundreds of thousands of dollars time and time again at local banks, and they were watching on bank security cameras. Now, she's also been released despite prosecutors making the argument that she and her rap duo traveled the world, they say, on this tax money. Noelle Brown, the other suspect here, she's not appeared in federal court yet, guys. It may be an indicator that she's not been arrested yet. Back to you.
Wow, what a story, Sean. What about the money? Everyone always wonders, will the IRS taxpayers get any of those millions back?
All depends on how much is left in the accounts. The feds froze the accounts, so what's left in there will go back. If it's been spent, it's unlikely the IRS and taxpayers will ever see that money again.
All right. Defender Sean Lay.
All right. So first things first, man. They only caught these motherfuckers because they got an informant. They'd have still been able to rob the IRS blind, man, if somebody didn't, get in the middle of that and say, yo, man, I'm going to drop dime on these motherfuckers. I don't like this shit.
Yeah, who's snitching?
Somebody they fell out with, and what the story said, they was actually getting ready to get 10 million more before this popped off.
Now, the tripped out part to me, right? So, listen, okay, so everybody, when you get in the rap game, apparently everybody got money when they get in the rap game.
Right.
Everybody knows it. Like, y'all selling drugs, y'all scamming or whatever the fuck else, right? Can y'all, not do the obvious crimes, though? Like, can you not, be scamming the IR fucking S, man, and then it comes out in the fucking news story, well, yeah, not only that. So, you live in the hood or whatever, and you roll up in, I don't know, a 2020 fucking 2 A 2022 Mercedes Benz, bitch ain't even out yet. You roll up on the block and everybody, nigga, how you get that? Oh, it ain't nothing, man. It ain't nothing. Just a little something slight, man. It ain't nothing. Like, you do that sort of shit and you draw attention to yourself. And then you act surprised when the motherfucking feds rolling up on you when you get caught. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing the obvious shit, man. Stop. Like, just stop. Just stop. And it's always rap.
I mean, it's funny because that's the kind of shit that no one raps about, though. Like, that's what's so funny about it is, like, you would think that, like, people do rap about drug dealing and murder and all this, but I would like to hear some still from the IRS bars. I mean, shit, let's get some unique crimes up in here. Tell me how to fill out a PPP loan.
Come on, obviously you know how to do it.
Hey, as a matter of fact, while we talk about like hacking and shit, man, hell, they hacking fucking gas pipelines, bro. Like, hack that student loan, bro. Like, real talk. Hack that student loan.
Come on, hit up Sally Mae or whatever it is now. I know it's not Sally Mae no more.
That is
but hit it up.
That is the stimulus everybody need right there.
Everybody waiting on Biden to get rid of the student debt. I say the hackers get rid of the student debt.
Come on.
Y'all be the white hat hackers everybody loves, man. Like, nobody would snitch on y'all. I'm telling you, nobody would snitch on y'all. Everybody.
I like how the low key part of the news that didn't really get covered was that they still didn't break that hack. They paid them.
Right.
Like, the gas is flowing because they said, fuck it, man. Here's $5 million. Can we have our pipeline back?
Right.
Man, they came up, man. They came up on that. That whole like gas pipeline hacking shit. Crazy. We're gonna talk a little bit about that a little later. But can
I just note two more things in the story?
Yeah.
Did they say they had something about weaves, like only for only weaves?
That was the name of one of their fake companies.
For weaves only. That's why I started.
Weaves only.
That was the name of the company. Yes.
Wow. Like,
they selling weaves on DoorDash now.
Okay.
That's the thing.
They're gonna start only weaves. It's gonna be like OnlyFans, but for weaves. And then the other part is, you know how misogynistic rap is. Even the white people at the news pointed out they were female rappers.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't just say they was rappers. It's like female rappers.
We want to be sure,
just so you won't get it confused. I mean, that really had nothing to do with the article. Everything kind of pointed to the fact that they were women by the time you start naming the companies and but they still went with like female rapper. Can y'all believe females did this? Crazy.
I low key kind of wanted them to play more of their music so I could figure out who the fuck they was. Cause I ain't, like, again, they talking about them being rappers. Like, nigga, I don't know who they is. I didn't know who Sally was until like a year ago. And he apparently is like one of the biggest Detroit rappers there is.
Yeah, they said Deuces Wild was the name of the.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
they traveling all around the world, so they must be opening acts for people because nobody knows who they are.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But we got another story here, another crazy story here in Blue Blazers. Apparently, there's this dude who is a notorious backseat driver, like in this, like the literal sense of the fucking word, a backseat driver. So there's this guy in San Francisco. He got arrested for riding his Tesla with the autopilot on, jumped his ass in the back seat. This motherfucker gets out of jail, buys a new Tesla, and does the shit again. We got video for this, so let me go ahead and pull that video up because my man is actually kind of obnoxious. But
they're not self-driving, are they? Or if they do, you have to pay for it or something?
Well, Tesla does have an autopilot feature on it. You do have to pay. It's like a part of a package. So you buy the package of the car, and then the car will drive its motherfucking self. And he was doing this and jumping his ass in the back seat while the car was driving itself.
Oh no, you still have to be in the driver's seat, don't you?
Yeah. You supposed to, but he said fuck it. He said fuck
also,
it.
I tried to Google Deuces Wild, and I also looked on Spotify for Deuces Wild. I'm starting to think these aren't rappers as much as they're scammers that like to rap. Can't even find their music.
I ain't heard none of they shit. Never heard of them.
Never.
Yeah.
At all. So let me pull this up though. Let me see what my man talking about here. Do I got the wrong screen pulled up? I do. Let me stop that. My bad, y'all.
Nah, no problem.
My bad.
Happens all the time.
Mhm.
My wrong screen pulled up. All right, let's see here.
I bet Tesla cannot like the viral advertising that it keeps getting. It's all bad news. Like, I bet they're pretty good cars. You know what I'm saying? But all the news I hear is like, Tesla drove it to a tree, burned for 17 hours. Water wouldn't even put it out. 2 people dead.
And you know what? I kind of want one. I
saw the video.
Cars.
I saw the video of the dudes flexing with the Tesla.
Yeah,
like they went up to the gas station, nobody could get gas, and they hopped out and just started laughing. I was like, yo, that car looked kind of dope though.
That car looks gorgeous.
They got like an SUV. I kind of want the SUV, man, but I ain't got that kind of brake.
Everything except for that truck. That truck looked terrible.
That type of truck is terrible. But you know, that type of truck look like some shit you put together with Legos or something.
I told you it looked like a Minecraft truck.
Yeah. It's like wooden. It's like someone carved it out of wooden blocks.
Yeah. Let's see what this man talking about though, because he crazy as hell.
I'm gonna get in the back seat again.
Oh, what's up, bro?
You really like that? You really like it back there?
Yeah, so I feel safer back here than I dare. Like I swear to God, it's safer back here than up there.
But what about for other people? To the
Look, I can control it like this.
But why would you?
So that's how fast you can get to the wheel?
Yeah. That's how fast I can get to the wheel. And if anything else, you feel me go like, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Shout out Elon Musk. You feel me? Go hard. FSD package. You feel me? I got my music up here. The boombox is so the pedestrians can hear the car and get away from it. So he's got it all figured out.
So what if they take your license from you?
Well, Elon Musk will make a license irrelevant.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, let's say this goes to court. The judge says, I'm ordering you to ride behind the wheel or you're going to be in jail.
Then I got to call Elon Musk and he got to, make the license, eradicate having a license.
Okay, but until then, though, you're going to have to be riding behind the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just get a new Tesla every time. I have unlimited money to blow on Teslas. Like, if you take my Tesla away, I will get another Tesla. Yeah, that's how it works. I run Silicon Valley.
What do you do?
I'm a Tesla millionaire.
Millionaire?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's hundreds of millions.
Yeah. You feel me? It's enough.
Okay. All right, but I mean, you're in the high tech.
Yeah. Like, I started the iPhone movement, the rich kids of Instagram, backseat robo movement.
So you feel yourself, you're starting a movement.
Yeah. And I feel like by mid-2022, the backseat thing will be normal. And I think right now people are just taking it out of proportion.
You do understand that people are worried that something can go wrong. You understand that.
I'm more scared of other people than I am of myself.
How long does it take you to get in the back seat?
1, 2,
I'm mad they encouraging this cat, man.
3 seconds.
And you don't have
no
Shoes. I was like, he got no shoes.
Cabin back here, I could control the climate and all that from my phone, and it's like a living room back here. I'm relaxing in luxury while Elon Musk chauffeurs me.
So you have to say something to all the people out there that are watching that are worried that something's going to go wrong. You're going to get in an accident. You'll be back here. Somebody will get hurt or killed. Your answer is what?
Don't trip. I know what I'm doing. I got bars. And my car will stop for you. Like, my car stops for pedestrians, bicycles, red lights, everything. Like, Teslas do not crash if you use it as it's designed to use. Not this. I've done this whole thing before. I'm going to take him right now all over San Francisco from the back seat. This cameraman right here. Yeah. We're going to put all the Uber drivers out of business. Elon Musk is going to be moving United States of America, and it's going to be beautiful.
Okay.
Have you ever met him? No, I want to meet Elon Musk.
Elon, I don't know this motherfucker, man.
Ooh, yeah. He gonna be on the Elon Musk fan club, #1 fan.
Meanwhile, the other article I just read was the guy who died in the Tesla fire crash. They just said before he died, he posted pictures of him not driving, like with his hands off the wheel, letting the car drive. Like,
oh
maybe this is a character or a troll. I don't know why this is so ridiculous. It's over the top. It's so over the top. I can't believe he's being serious.
Yeah, and my thing is this: like at a certain point, so you go to jail for this right here, and then you come right back out of jail, do the exact same shit. So like the penalties for this got to ramp up, right? The penalty, like my man, I started the iPhone movement. I started the rich kids, the Instagram movement. He's called
sound like a scammer.
I don't know. Sound like he's doing a character.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like he's doing a character, but also it sounds like when he starts talking about iPhone, Instagram, like he sounds like, for one, he sounded young as shit.
Right.
Yes, like an influencer.
Yeah, and two, like has kind of bought into this whole social media makes me who I am sort of thing. Mm-hmm. To where like, I gotta do this because if I don't do this, then I become irrelevant. Despite, even if he does have the amount of money that he says he has, like that hasn't even brought this dude happiness. It's showing everybody else how rich I am. They keep putting me in jail. I just keep buying Teslas and name dropping Elon Musk like he knows Elon Musk, and then they asked him, "Have you ever met Elon Musk?" He's like, "Oh no, I want to though."
Right? Yeah, it just feel weird. Like the way he was talking it was so like he was saying Tesla like every third word just to say, "I'm a Tesla millionaire. I'm gonna get a Tesla."
20s, because this don't sound like nothing no adult would say.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't. It just sums off about this. I feel like we're gonna find out more about this dude later. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be like this is some type of.
They're gonna be locking him up like Deuces Wild.
Yeah, I think it might be like a practical joke or some shit like this. It makes so little sense what he just did that I don't even know how to process that stupid shit.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Like just dumb. It's like I keep telling people, man, Americans aren't necessarily the most sophisticated bunch of people in the world. Like,
right?
I say we number one in a whole lot of shit, but we number one in being stupid too. Like, they're just
come on.
It's kind of where we at, man. We take pride in dumb shit. So. That's in Blue Blazes. Now, another story that we got here in Blue Blazes, we were talking a little bit earlier about folks misbehaving at the airport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is Detroit, and Detroit does have a reputation for, some shit going down. So apparently, there was a fight at an airport, at Detroit Metro Airport, and somebody captured that shit on video. So, I'm gonna let y'all guess which airline they was flying though.
Spirit,
JetBlue.
God damn it, Rod! First motherfucking choice, man. Tell me you flying Spirit without telling me you flying Spirit. God damn, it was Spirit.
I would never fly Spirit.
Listen, my brother was just here from Las Vegas, and he had flown Spirit, and like. Some kind of way, he had some carry-on luggage that he had flown here with that they didn't charge him for. Takes that same damn bag back to Las Vegas. But now that bag doesn't fit in the carry-on bin. So they tell him, like, yo, so it's going to be $65 for you to take that bag on the flight with you because, it doesn't fit in the bin. Meanwhile, he's like, yo, I flew from Las Vegas with this bag as a carry-on. They didn't charge me nothing. So like they nickel and dime it, like the amount, like the way that they do their shit is like, the airline ticket itself may not be a whole hell of a lot, but by the time they get finished nickel and diming you for all the other things that you really need,
flew somewhere else.
Might as well just go ahead and pay that $200 to get on Delta or some shit like that. So there was a fight in the terminal. Let me pull this video up so you guys can see right along with your man Spann. I keep thinking I had this shit pulled up and I don't. But all right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. All right, let's see. Jessica Duke.
Inside, 2 passengers in some kind of altercation. A bullet is taken. It doesn't quite compare to what you're about to see. 2 weeks ago, 2 passengers in an all-out brawl. They, of course, garnered quite an audience, and one happened to be recording. Take a look.
No.
Oh, wow. Oh, shoot.
Then that happened here.
Wow. And no one's stopping it? Earlier this month, 4 days found from a TSA security checkpoint. A brawl breaks out outside of a Spirit Airlines gate.
Did you say outside of Spirit?
Yeah.
That's why. Hey, that is a line. I feel like he should have picked somebody his own size because he literally tore him up.
A spokesperson for Detroit Metro Airport says an issue on board a flight turned into a fight once they got off.
We're too grown to be outside acting like this, falling and rolling around on the ground. People got kids. They're all traveling. We're trying to make it home safe.
The video goes on for about a minute before passengers break it up. It's unclear at what point an official responded. The suspect was cited for assault, but the spokesperson we talked to didn't say who he was in the video.
I know their job is pretty tough. I've done security before too, but somebody should have been there trying to break it up, trying to keep the peace, something.
It's the second time this year chaos captured on video in the terminal.
Oh my God.
Spirit Airlines passengers attacked employees, upset for having to verify their bag size. 2 employees were hurt. 1 went to the hospital.
Everybody's in the house, and then you let them out. You know what happens when you let people out of the house? They go crazy. They don't know how to act sometimes.
2 similar situations in Florida this month. And in Miami, 3 simultaneous fights between passengers started
Good
over
God.
standby seats.
No, I guess it's just happening everywhere recently. People are, since they're pent up in their house, they're coming out strong, I guess.
3 of the 4 videos we highlighted in that story all involve Spirit Airlines in one way or another. We reached out to the did not hear back in time for this story. Reporting live, Detroit Metro Airport, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
That's crazy, man.
I'm good on that. Like I said, I've never flown Spirit. I hear people talk about Spirit, and the way I feel, the Spirit will make you lose your spirit. So I'm good. You ain't got to worry about me putting my ass on nobody's Spirit airline.
Yeah, it's more like the hidden word in Spirit Airlines is fighting spirit.
Hey, I was thinking myself, man, like since they said the altercation started on the airline, like on the flight before they got off, I was thinking like, maybe he called him a nigga on the plane, and that's what led him to ass whoop. Like he had to,
he was definitely hitting that man with the ancestor strength.
He had to say something, man. He had to have said something because, like, that dude was he gave him the business in the fucking Smith terminal, man. But that's in Blue Place.
Everybody's knocking it, but it's honestly the safest place right now to get in a fight, in my opinion. Because if you're gonna fight somebody, I would fight them in an airport because it's the only place you can't have guns in America.
Yeah,
like
for real.
Everybody else. I mean, niggas bought the most guns ever last year. I don't know if people know. It's about to, when this shit opens back up, it's about to be a bloodbath. People gonna be getting shot for nothing.
Man, shooting a fair one, but no shooting.
Yeah,
that make it fair.
Yeah, that make it fair.
You beat my ass in this airport. Hey, all I could do is dap you up at the end. You got me.
Yeah. He didn't want to let that go though. He got his ass whooped, but he's act like he wanted some more. That was the tripped out part.
You got to do that. After you get your ass whooped like that.
Let me go, bro.
Right.
Let me go.
And they talking about somebody gonna break it up. I was like, you do know the coronavirus still out there? Yes, I'm gonna walk away and watch y'all brawl too. I'm not stepping in the middle of that.
Yeah.
That's a bit too much to be asking of your ticket agents, man. They like, yo,
yes,
man, I like give you motherfuckers a ticket and y'all going about y'all merry way. I ain't about to jump in the middle of that shit.
Nigga, they pay me $12.50 an hour. They don't pay me enough to be breaking up no fights.
Man, that's the other part, right? So I know we haven't been talking about this really, but like, I've been noticing stories more like lately, like from like even some of the places that you would consider like more liberal leaning as far as how they present the news, like talking about people not wanting to come back to work. Mm-hmm. I've been noticing a lot of these different stories, and they always kind of frame it around, maybe it's unemployment. Like they paying the unemployment is too generous and all this other shit. And I know a lot of states are deciding, especially ones with Republican governors,
ain't that crazy?
They're gonna start pulling back on the unemployment
benefit.
The unemployment benefits that they're getting from the federal level. They pull those back. And so like it's weird in how we are framing this is that like, yo, people don't want to come back to work. never really considering all of the hazards and all of the shit that these people have to deal with when they get to work. And then on top of that, the pay hasn't increased. The benefits haven't increased. Like, what the fuck? This is what you want me to come back to? Fuck you.
Right. And not only is this what you want me to come back to, the economy is still recovering. So you cut off my benefits. I couldn't find a job before, and now I still can't find a job. And now I got less money.
Yeah, and the thing I keep pointing out is a lot of these jobs, even when it's good money, right? So let's say, they pay you, it's a waiter job. And what people don't know is that with tips, you actually make like $15, $20 an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still might catch that coronavirus. So you still got people that's weighing like, is it worth my risk of catching coronavirus? Or should I just take unemployment? It's a little bit of a loss of income, but at least I'm making ends meet and I'm being able to be safe in my home. Because these jobs normally don't pay for like insurance and shit.
They only give you 40 hours.
Yeah, so it could be that simple.
Yeah, man. It's a lot going on, and I think it's just kind of weird that we care so much about the economy. We got to get the economy back on track, and not necessarily like, we got to get our people together. If we get our people together, the economy is going to rebound regardless, because our people are enthusiastic about coming back to work. Our people are feeling good about their prospects of, not only being able to take care of their family, but also not get sick. That whole thing. If you take care of people, the economy will take care of itself. But if you just talk about, the economy and damn the people, then it's like, it's crazy, man.
Right. So you don't really care about the economy, because like what you're doing is actually counterproductive to actually causing the economy to grow.
Yeah. And when they say they care about the economy, they always mean the businesses, the CEOs,
right?
The corporations. They never mean the people. They never mean the workers.
No, they never do. But we are done with the whole Blue Blaze. It's time for us to get on up out of here.
Blue Blazes is going on out here.
Did that nigga just say Blue Blaze?
But y'all know what time it is.
That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Yeah, that's enough of that shit. It's proud to be an American time here at the Spann Report Podcast. Well, we talk about some of the crazy, dumb shit that happens here in America. We're the number one country in the world, also number one for being dumb. So our first story here has to do with a Utah bar, man. They decided they were going to open up their dining room to vaccinated folks, and the unvaccinated folks decided that they was mad about the shit, man. Yeah, they are up fucking set, like so upset, in fact, that they called in the goddamn bar to tell them they're not coming. Meanwhile, they probably weren't coming in the first place.
And they out of state. Guarantee you them people do not live there.
Yeah. So let me pull this video up so you guys can watch right along with us here. Here we go. Oh, turn the video. Turn the sound up.
Angry phone calls after the decision to reopen the dining room, but only to customers who have been fully vaccinated.
Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher is live at the Bayou with how some are claiming what the bar is requiring is actually against the law. Lauren.
Yeah, Bob and Kelly. So they have been getting a lot of calls. This coming Wednesday, the Bayou will open their front doors and let people come in for the first time since March of a year ago. But there are people saying that they don't believe that what they're doing is with the law or constitutional.
No. After more than a year with the front door closed, the inside empty, curbside only.
Yep, I got it right here.
The Bayou is ready to reopen. Customers hearing the news have been sending messages of excitement.
Can't wait, excitement, yes, things like that. Be right there.
Others calling.
So to hell with you guys then.
Well, we'll miss.
Ridiculous.
We'll miss you. I guess I guess you've been a customer for a while, and we're really going to miss your.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I bet you are. Me and hundreds of other people.
Saying they won't be coming here to eat.
I will never feed into this propaganda, V for Vendetta type bull.
V for Vendetta.
Get red tape off your eyes, sir.
Red tape? What is red tape?
Not a thing. Red tape means propaganda, sir. Wake the up. I hope your business tanks. after this.
because the Bayou wants them to show a vaccination card to get in.
This is our requirement to keep everybody safe because we have to make those decisions.
President Mark Alston says because people don't wear masks at tables to eat and drink, he wants to keep himself, staff, and other patrons safe by making sure everyone is protected against COVID-19.
You know, I'm going to stop this real quick, though. That makes sense. That makes sense because when folks go to a restaurant, they go to a bar, whatever else, when you're consuming shit, you can't wear the mask. And generally, you can kind of keep it down until you get ready to leave. So, like, walking in with the mask on, like, all right, I guess. And then you take the shit off. But now it's off for the vast majority of the time that you're there. You're breathing, you're laughing, you're talking. Whatever you got has been spread in the ventilation system or whatever else. It makes sense for you, like, yo, man, so you've been vaccinated. Let's make sure everybody here is safe. And you don't even have to go with the whole mask thing. And so it just makes sense to do it that way, you know? But then these other folks calling, these are the same people, man. The Venn diagram is the same people who thought it was okay for the bakeries to not bake cakes for gay couples.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the same people, like you thought, they're like, yeah, this is his constitutional right as a business owner to not have to deal with, you gays. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have to. It's against my religion to have to deal with this sort of shit. And so, like, I really don't believe that I should have to serve you as a gay person. But now this person is making a medical decision to, like, this is
And it's clearly like it's clearly like he was listed on some type of message board somewhere or something.
Yes,
because
you can tell
the amount of people that are calling. It's no way those are customers.
Me and hundreds. Okay,
if there was a restaurant up the street from here that said we're only serving unvaccinated people, I'm not picking up my phone to call them to give them a piece of my mind. Like, that seems like something from Reddit where they're, hey y'all, look what this guy's doing, and it's those like some of the calls later in the piece, you hear the this is against HIPAA violations. It's like, oh, you don't even know what the fuck. Like, that's a talking point you read on a meme.
Yes. Because I think HIPAA is like if they share your medical information without knowledge or some shit like that.
Yeah, like
nothing to do with food, restaurants, none of that shit.
Yeah. And like again, when you want the government out your life, okay, cool. You want the government out your life. Then you go point to a government regulation. You don't want the government to regulate shit. And you point to a government regulation when you don't agree with what the fuck's going on here. It is fucking insane, man. Fucking insane. But it, like, some of these calls are actually even more insane. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let this play out a little bit more. Let's see.
We're following what the CDC guidelines are, and the CDC, I mean, it's absolutely crystal clear. When you're fully vaccinated, hang out with other people who are fully vaccinated without your masks on, eating, drinking, you're totally fine. If you're hanging out with people who aren't fully vaccinated, keep the mask on.
Their decision has led to dozens of angry phone calls since the announcement Wednesday and people sounding off on Yelp.
We have been called communists. We have been compared to running a Auschwitz camp in Nazi Germany.
People Alston says aren't even customers. He took about a half a dozen calls while we were there on Thursday.
It goes against the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. Every person...
Your medical doctors are very different than our medical doctors.
Get off the phone with the health department, and you are going to HIPAA law.
No,
and we will be taking signatures to go against your business. America. Sickening. So good luck.
Hi, our
It's
friends.
disgusting that you are going to require a citizen of the United States of America to show you a slice of paper in order for them to dine in your restaurant. Do you not feel like segregation?
Do you know that?
Discrimination.
Can you for a second?
That's actually part of your health law. You are discriminating against me.
All right, yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's just fucking insane. They want to be victims so goddamn bad, man.
So bad. They the real victims of coronavirus. The people that didn't die but refused to wear a mask or take the vaccine.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, I applaud my man being game for the trolling though. Like, at a certain point, it's got to be tiresome. But he looked like he was really like game for. Like, all right, man, we got another one. Hey, pass me the phone.
Yeah, I keep saying, man, I love, like, we need to get to a point where good people stop giving a fuck. Because like too often it's the bad people that don't give a fuck and they continue to prosper. It's the I beat my wife and y'all gonna listen to my fucking podcast too, bitch. And if you say make me feel bad about it, something wrong with you. It's like that motherfucker gets $1 million deal. You know what I mean? Like read the news. Oh, just signed another lucrative deal. But what about people that are doing the right thing? Like, why do they always have to like meet these motherfuckers halfway? Nah, let them call your restaurant, troll them, and then be like, your ass still can't come in here. So okay, you mad? And
that behavior tends to get like rewarded in this particular society right now, man. Like if you look at how people act on social media, if you just look at how people like like in pop culture, like a lot of times, we were talking about the Joe Budden podcast earlier, like, and people wanted to watch the train wreck. It's like the bad behavior tends to get rewarded monetarily or in popularity, some sort of way. So far too few oftentimes, the people who are like trying to do the right thing very seldom get the kudos that they deserve. So like I'm just glad my man was like kind of game for it when they were calling him with the bullshit. He's like, all right, man, so go ahead and hand me the phone because I'm gonna talk some shit with you right too. I'll make you feel fucking stupid by the time I get off the phone with you. So that's proud to be an American, man. Now another thing in proud to be an American, we were talking about that gas, the gas pipeline that was hacked. Did you guys like suffer from that at all? I know that happened like on the East Coast and like sort of down like the southeastern.
I mean, our city definitely did, and our state did. We're in a state of emergency. You still can't get gas at most of the gas stations in my city.
Like 71% was out.
Yeah, but not. But we personally haven't suffered. We had gas. We work from home, so we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because one of the things I was kind of wondering about was how much of this was how much of the gas shortage was actually from the hack and how much of it was from people hoarding the gas, right?
I think it was more from the hoarding.
It's kind of hard to kind of quantify, but there's one story that I came across had to do with somebody who was hoarding gas, didn't even make it past like a block before they damn near blew their fucking selves up in their car along with them.
They don't know how gas works.
Yeah, they don't know how gas works.
People putting them in the wrong containers.
Plastic bags, totes. I know somebody was trolling because I seen somebody out there with a goddamn laundry hamper, and I was like, God damn it, it got holes in it, man. It got holes in it, man. We gonna fill up the bottom and that's it. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, it don't even make sense.
It don't make sense, but like, it's almost like that whole thing with the toilet paper thing. Like, I remember I saw a story when the pandemic first started, and it was like this one lady who had bought up a shit ton of toilet paper, bought up Family Dollar's whole entire stock of the toilet paper. And I'm thinking to myself, why in the fuck did Family Dollar even allow that to happen?
Right.
Like, and with the gas stations, why are y'all allowing these people to come in here, buy up all these damn, like, that they filling these damn gas cans up and then like kind of rolling out. And I get it, they probably just trying to get the quick buck and like go on about their business, but like that sort of shit shouldn't even be allowed, right? But this dude or this person, because I don't know if they actually had as a dude or a woman or not, but they had a Hummer Race 2. They had, I believe, 20 gallons of gasoline in cans in the back of their Hummer Race 2. Decided they would light a motherfucking cigarette while transporting 20 gallons of gas in the backseat of their ride. And of course, the fucking Hummer blew the damn hell up.
God,
yeah.
They could smell it. You could smell it. So why would you even light something?
Listen, I work on natural gas. You'd be surprised by how many people will walk out of their car not paying attention to nothing and will light up a goddamn cigarette like it's a nut, like it ain't a thing, like gas ain't blowing. Like it's a thing. Like people just aren't really paying attention to the shit that's happening around them. This is just total fucking absence of goddamn like you're totally absent from where the hell you are. I don't even think they were thinking about the gas that was in the back seat. They're so used to firing up in the car.
Okay, out of habit. Yeah.
Out of habit. They forgot that they got 20 gallons of gas in the back, not thinking that those fumes are flammable. So let me pull this up because we do have video for this. Let me pull that up. Here we go. All right.
fiery outcome for a Hummer driver right here in the Tampa Bay area. Citrus County Fire Rescue telling WFLA.com that they were called to the scene of a Hummer H2 on fire in Homosassa on Wednesday morning. It was there. The vehicle contained 20 additional gallons of gasoline filled up in 4 gas cans and then loaded into the Hummer H2 from a Texaco not too far away. There you see the gas station there in the background. Firefighters saying one person was injured but refused to be transported for treatment against medical advice. The fire coming as Tampa Bay area officials urge people not to panic buy gasoline over fuel shortage concerns. Authorities say that there's no need to panic buy gasoline, especially here in the Tampa Bay area. Florida getting 90% of its gas supply from cargo ships. You can find all our related coverage right here on WFLA.com and the WFLA app.
It was like, it's coming on ships, y'all. What's wrong with you people?
So you ain't even suffering from a fucking a shortage, and you ordered gas, and like, so off top, I see Hummer H2, and I think of a certain type of person. I think of a certain type of person, man. There's a certain type of people. They got the Hummer H2. Oh shit, there's some shit playing in the background.
A woman with some bad luck at the simple hard run.
Let's go ahead and stop that. We don't need you to do that now.
And they gas guzzlers.
They are gas guzzlers, which is part of the reason. Like, I remember General Motors had tried to sell off the Hummer brand to like a Chinese company when they had like their bankruptcy and shit. And they got rid of a whole lot of brands. Hummer was one of them. Hummer was one of those cars that you got when you didn't give a fuck about gas prices, and like gas relatively cheap when they first came out. Gas cheap, and then when like I want to say like around 2008 when we had the financial meltdown in America, get rid of them bitches. And they was going to get them like a Geo Metro or some shit like that.
Come on, the smaller the better.
It was getting them small cars, and like what we found out that now though is like, yo, people are migrating more back towards those SUVs. But the fact that this person had 20 fucking gallons of gas in a state where they aren't even getting their gas from the pipeline, just, I'm sorry, man. We are stupid. Like I'm sorry. There's really no other way to like kind of put this other than Americans just being flat fucking dumb. And I might just rename this instead of proud to be an American, like Americans is flat fucking dumb. But yo, man, like he refused medical treatment.
Probably had no insurance.
They can't. Oh, yeah, you're probably right on that, right? I'm thinking these motherfuckers gonna think I'm stupid.
Right.
I'm gonna go into this hospital and they gonna think I'm crazy. And he don't want the judgment. He gonna get the judgment anyway, baby. We judge you all over the internet. But he didn't want to go into the hospital and face those folks, man. But that's just dumb. That's just dumb, man. That's in Proud to Be an American. Our last story here, Proud to Be an American. How many police chases have you guys been involved in?
None.
Zero. Yeah, a police flagged me on the opposite side of the road, and I stopped and waited for them to roll their ass on across the street and get me. I went nowhere, so no cop chases for me.
Explain that one, Karen. How he flagged you from the other side of the road?
I was flying down 74, and he clocked me in the opposite direction. And when I seen him, I just stopped because I knew I was flying. So I stopped, waited for him to make a U-turn and pull right beside me. I even stopped in the middle of the road. He was like, "Why did you stop in the middle of the road?" I said, "Ma'am, because sir, I'm a black woman. I'm down here in South Carolina. I stopped to let you know I seen you." I said, "Because I didn't want you to mistake that I was trying to evade you." So yeah, I stopped in the middle of the road.
I'll be goddamn. I ain't know. For one, I don't picture Karen as a speeder. I don't. Karen, you got the left foot.
I'm better. I'm a lot better. Because I was thinking, I was like, you know how you get in the car, you know how you have music and your music kind of almost dictates your speed. And I was just going. Yeah. And when I seen that, I was like, shit. And you know what? I was so mad. He gave me a ticket, and I was so mad when he gave me that ticket. It was like $200 something. When he gave me that ticket, I called Roger and I fussed all the way home because I seen all $200 of them dollars jump out my motherfucking passenger window. I was hot. I didn't even go to the destination. They was like, "You coming?" I say, "Fuck no, I got a ticket. I'm taking my black ass home."
I hear that, man. I ain't never got no $200 ticket though, Karen.
I was mad.
That's why you're Fast and Furious fan. I get it now.
You understand? That's why I want them to turn into GoBots. Because guess what? You ain't giving no GoBot no ticket, no Transformer ticket.
It all comes full circle. I now understand Karen's fascination with the Fast and the Furious. I get it. Karen feeling like she in the movie. All right. But so apparently we all got this dude. Like, well, we don't have this dude beat. This dude got us beat 5 times. 5 times over, because this guy was he initiated 5 police chases in one fucking day with the Livonia Police Department here in Michigan.
How?
Mayor asked Uncle.
Yeah, let's go to Channel 4 and find out. So let's see what they're talking about. Here we go.
White.
Yeah.
We have seen people do some strange and dangerous things for attention on social media. This one is really bizarre. A local man seen chatting with his Facebook followers while police are chasing him. Larry Spruill with a closer look at what was going on behind the wheel and how it finally ended. Larry?
A man is in jail tonight after leading police on not 1, not 2, but 5 high-speed police chases. And that's not it. He streamed all of them on Facebook. It looks like a video game, but it's real life. This is video of a high-speed chase with 30-year-old Cody Mahone driving his red Pontiac G6 and streaming the chases on Facebook.
So I'm being pulled over and I'm not stopping.
The video starts with the first police chase on April 24th around 4:30 p.m. with Livonia police. Officers noticed the red Pontiac with no license plate in the area of Merrimum and Schoolcraft. Police say Mahone kept going. Officers eventually stopped that chase, only to realize Mahone documented each chase on social media.
I got 4 police chases today. Just again an hour ago.
The other chases happened on westbound 96 in the area of Farmington and Schoolcraft. Multiple drivers called 911 about a Pontiac G6 doing donuts.
I got 10 police cars on. That's 5 police chases in one day. I'm not worried about the police.
He was arrested, charged with 3 counts of fleeing and eluding, as well as several other outstanding arrest warrants. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Mahone
Yeah. You had it right, Karen. He was white. He was white. And this
5?
is 5 in one fucking day.
I was scared about 1. It didn't even happen. He got 5.
Live to tell the tale. Live to tell the tale. So yeah, man. This is why folks when we start talking about the whole police shit and like police showing restraint and everything, these are the types of things that we talking about. You know,
he had the
'cause
nerve to stream him.
he ended up being fine.
Yeah,
like they didn't need to kill him. They didn't beat him or whatever the fuck. Went to jail. Face looked fine in the mugshot. Like, seem like they can do it when they want to.
When they want to. He wasn't worried about the police and said so publicly on his social media as he was broadcasting these fucking live stream police chases and shit. So, yeah, man, that has been proud to be an American. Oh, shit.
That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
All right, but y'all know what time it is.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
All right. It's Champ of the Week time here at the Spann Report Podcast. And this week we have 2 champs of the week. We didn't do a show last week, so we got to get them their shine this week too. But our first champ of the week this week here is Jaden Smith. Now, the reason why Jaden Smith is the champ of the week this week is Jaden Smith has decided that he's going to open up a restaurant where the homeless can actually come into that restaurant and eat for free. So
he is doing it all. Kudos to him.
Yo, I just remember how people would talk about those Smith kids.
Right.
And, people aren't used to young black kids just being free.
Right.
Being free to explore their personality, being free to explore their sexuality, being free to just kind of be and grow into who they're going to be. And so a lot of the backlash that I remember a lot the Smiths getting was, I can't believe that they're allowing these kids to do this, because we couldn't fathom doing those things because we weren't necessarily allowed to get that, we weren't necessarily allowed that level of freedom in order to grow up and grow into who we were going to be, at least not in that way. And so to see that, Jaden Smith has grown into the person that he's become, and to be so giving, like I think he did he like it was something with the water here in Flint that Jaden Smith was involved in, where he was giving water out to the Flint residents. Like Jaden Smith has a very giving heart, a very charitable heart, and the fact that he doesn't have to do this, but he sees himself as a servant to others, and that's something you don't really. I don't know if you can really teach that to people. That just kind of has to be in you,
right?
And so, for that reason, man, I think Jaden Smith deserves to be a champ of the week this week here at the Spann Report Podcast. Another champ that we got here at the Spann Report Podcast is Joshua Nelson. 18-year-old Joshua Nelson. This kid had a savings account to help pay for himself to go to college, right? Saved a whole bunch of money to go to college. He ended up getting a scholarship, a full scholarship, to go to Southeast Missouri State University. So guess what happens to that money? He decided to take that money and allow somebody else to go to school with that cash that he had saved up. So he's paying for someone else to go to school because he got that full ride to go to Southeast Missouri State. That money that he was going to use to go to school is now going to help somebody else go to school.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yo, dope shit. And I know we clown a lot of dumb people here on the show. we talk about a lot of the bullshit that goes on in the world, but like, yo, with the champ of the week, we really want to highlight the folks who are really doing some really good things and really some dope things. And yo, man, 18-year-old Joshua Nelson deserves his champ kudos here at the Spann Report Podcast, man. Real talk. But before we get out of here, I got, of course, shout out to Rod and Karen for just like kind of gracing us with their presence here at the Spann Report Podcast.
Oh man, thank you.
Let everybody know how they can get in touch with y'all, man.
You can get in contact with us at theblackguywhotips.com. We're on social media at TBGWT or at the Black Guy Who Tips across most platforms. You can find Rod on Twitter at Rodimus Prime, and you can find me on Twitter at Say That Again. That is in DAT.
Indeed. And of course, we do have to remind you guys how to get in touch with us here over at the Spann Report Podcast and let your voice be heard. You can go ahead and hit us up at our hotline at area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave us those voicemail messages, and of course, those messages will play here and responded to here live on the show. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My name on both of those platforms is Mr._Spann. So you go ahead, follow me there, chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. Hit us up on our email at feedback@thespannreport.com. That's feedback@thespannreport.com. Go ahead, listen to those. Send those emails, and of course, we'll reply to those emails here live on the show as well. 5-star reviews on iTunes and on Stitcher Radio are the ones that get read here live on the show. We appreciate everybody who goes about the business of doing that. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you rock with us over here at the Spann Report Podcast Network. And it's a policy that we got over here from the Black Guy Who Tips. I'm just saying, just pay it forward. And yo, man, it's before I get out of here, let me let you guys know, not only are you going to hear this episode, but yo, your man Spann was on the Shop Talk podcast with the homies Dame and Jay Johnson. 2 Detroit area podcasters, man. Go ahead and check them out. Blue and the Black. Go ahead and check out the Shop Talk podcast. I believe it's episode 260. And we did just launch Highly Inappropriate with Cook Simmons on the Spann Report Podcast Network. So go ahead and give Cook those listens, man. Let Cook know y'all fucking with her. And we appreciate everybody who goes about the business of doing that too, man. Real talk. I appreciate Rod and Karen for joining us here at the Spann Report Podcast. And we will talk to you guys again soon. But until next time, fam, peace.